What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Tony the Laramie. Thanks for tuning in to a brand new episode of Brother, Please Hear Me Out. Let's get into the topic at hand. And the article that I'm going to be reading from today comes from Business Insider. And that article is titled, Artificial Intelligence is Slated to Disrupt 4.5 million jobs for African Americans who have a 10% greater likelihood of automation-based job loss than other workers. I will leave the link in the description below to this article so that you can read it and have it for yourself. Now, everything that's going to be discussed in this article today, I've been stressing this point over the last 6-7 episodes of Brother, Please Hear Me Out. Over and over and over and over again, I've told you, if you are not getting a degree and or certificate in the tech field, you are wasting your time. You are 100% wasting your time. You better learn how to code on the most basic level. There are a lot of websites that can help you learn how to code for free to a point, and at a certain point, you will have to pay. But as an introductory point, just a way to get your feet wet, websites like websites like Codecademy will suffice. Go back and listen to my last 5 or 6 episodes of Not For Real. If you're listening to the show for the first time, I give an abundant amount of information concerning the fact that by 2030, this country, let alone the world, will have gone through a radical shift in which it will be unrecognizable from where we're at right now. And that is mainly due to artificial intelligence, automation, as well as blockchain technology. And if you are not preparing yourself now for the shift that has already begun, you will get left behind. Let me rephrase that. Black America will 100% be left behind in the dust. You are already at the bottom of the economic totem pole right now. By 2030, you will officially be the walking dead. I promise you that. I promise you that. Now let's get into this article at hand. Automation and AI are coming for jobs, and African American workers are particularly at risk. African American workers will have higher rates of job displacement than the general U.S. population due to automation, according to a new report by the consultancy McKinsey. There is an elevated risk to the African American workforce to modernization, automation, and the global shift that exists in the modern economy. While 22% of all jobs in the total workforce will be disrupted, meaning either killed or replaced by lower paying work, it's 10% higher for the African American workforce. That means 4.5 million black jobs can be displaced by 2030 without any intervention, according to McKinsey. Once again, I don't mean to beat a dead horse, but I have to because repetition is key. I've been saying this over and over and over and over again. If you are not pursuing higher education, a degree, and or a certificate in the tech world, you are wasting your time. You better learn how to code. You better understand Python. You better understand Linux. Do your due diligence and find out what are the educational requirements to become a data scientist or data analysis. And believe me when I tell you, these jobs are plentiful. On average, it takes 66 days for these jobs to be fulfilled once they hit the open market. As we speak, there are 2.4 million tech jobs open right now that are going unfulfilled. I believe within the last 3 months, there were 918,000 IT jobs that opened up and have remained unfulfilled. So once again, if you're not pursuing any type of education in the direction of tech, whether it be a degree and or certificate like your CompTIA, like a CompTIA A+ certificate or CompTIA Security Plus certificate, you are wasting your time. Let's carry on. African American workers are at greater risk for job loss due to being overrepresented in the jobs that will face the most cuts after AI and automation take over, like office support secretaries, fast food and service workers, and mechanics and other practitioners of production work. About 34 to 36% of jobs in those three sectors will get disrupted, McKinsey says. The disproportionate impact of automation could exacerbate the already widening racial wealth gap. The wealth gap between the median black and white families in the U.S. has jumped $54,000 since 1992. White Americans own disproportionately more homes and hold less student debt than African Americans. Factors that can be traced to this is historical redlining and discrimination in job hiring. I gotta tell you something before I carry on. You know it's bad when they're just giving it up. You know it's about to get bad for foundational black Americans when you're reading articles like this on Business Insiders and they're just telling you straight up and down, look man, redlining messed y'all up. Redlining, we're discriminating in the job market. We not hiring you and giving you promotions. And you know what? This is really, really, really gonna destroy you within the next 10 years. All the stuff that we've been doing the past 400 years, if we're being honest. When they're giving it up like that, you know it's bad because they're letting you know what's coming. Now let's carry on. Automation and AI will impact black men and black women differently. College education and gender will all impact how severely black Americans will face job loss, McKinsey finds. While the general black population is 10% more at risk for job disruption, the number jumps to 30% for African American men without a college degree. Once again, for the 1 millionth time, if you're not pursuing a degree and or certificate in the tech world, you're wasting your time. Now let's carry on. In fact, the researchers estimate that 28% of jobs held by black men without a college degree will get disrupted by automation and AI by 2030. Interestingly, while black men face greater risk of job disruption from AI, black women will see relatively fewer job losses. Black women might lose jobs at a lower rate not only compared to black men, but also when compared to white and Asian Americans of all genders. Black women are currently overrepresented in jobs that will see growth in the next decade, like nursing assistants and home wealth aides. This is why in the very first episode of Brother, Please Hear Me Out, I stressed the fact that I was talking to brothers when I first started this show. I'm not trying to say that the sisters aren't important, but understand, black man, you are on the verge of being completely economically devastated to the point to where you will simply be the walking dead. It's over. Put a nail in the coffin. He's dead. He's gone. He's finished. If we do not take advantage of the opportunities that are presenting themselves right now in the tech world. Now let me go on ahead and close this article out. Wright said understanding the unique ways automation will impact different racial groups will allow for better understanding of which policies to advocate for. Black men might need more job reskilling training to prepare for job distribution, while black women might need better access to education to attain higher paying work. I've been drilling this point to the ground over and over and over again over the last few weeks on this show, Brother, Please Hear Me Out. Within the next 10 years, by 2030, this world, let alone the country, will have gone through a radical change concerning automation, artificial intelligence, blockchain technology, and the like. Whether or not that change is for better or worse will depend on you and not somebody else.